This is Zombie Cure Lab. It's a survival base builder all about trying to build up a laboratory whilst defending it against zombies, and actually occasionally getting them to help you. Anyway, let's jump into it. See what we've got in store. Alright, we are in. Now, the premise is that we are basically in northern Canada somewhere, and specifically I think we're like the Alaska way in this present sort of, in this present environment. But either way, what we need to do is build our first building, which is the main storage, and this is going to give us the sort of rough outline of a base. We're also going to nab ourselves a landing zone, and a landing zone is going to be very, very important for reasons which will become clear in just a second. But yeah, Zombie Cure Lab, it's a base builder, survival base builder. It has been in early access for a couple of years and has just released into 1.0 right now, or very recently anyway. Cool. All right, what have we got going on the screen? We have got all of our resources down at the bottom here. We have got this helicopter quadcopter thing that has just delivered a contingent of scientists and a few resources in this container. Moose Lab, this is the multi-purpose observation of scientific experiments. Anyway, Moose Lab, my scientists work for Moose Labs. We are trying to build ourselves a cure for the zombies, or for the zombie thing, the zombie virus. Anyway, what can we build? Not very much to start with, but that's okay. We can build a hauling post. We can build a resource camp. I think immediately I want to build a resource camp. We want to build a resource camp roughly, I think, about here. Yeah, so that's good to do. Let's get that immediately started. We'll build a hauling camp, a hauler post as well to increase carry capacity and move resources from place to place. We will increase the number of people that we have assigned at the resource camp. You can see down here that we have 18 humans, and we have 8 humans that are currently available to work, which is grand. Barrels of chemicals. Cool, we're going to be picking up sulfur and metal. That looks a little bit unsafe, but that's okay. Right, next thing that I want to get down is probably a few different buildings. So buildings in this game are quite flexible. We have got the opportunity to just build ourselves, for example, a room. We'll build a 6x6 room to start with. It's going to cost me 140 wood. We've got our wood down there in the bottom right-hand corner. We'll build a second room as well. We have an objective up in the top right to finish my first level 1 Humvee treatment. Well, I don't want to give you a spoiler, but effectively what we're going to be doing is we're going to try and treat the zombies and turn the zombies into more humanoid sort of characters, and we can do that in multiple different stages, but we'll get there. Let's not worry about that. Now, this room, we can decide what we want it to be: a kitchen, a science room, a bedroom, a skill training room, or a cooling chamber. I think the first order of business is to get ourselves a kitchen and then probably a bedroom. After we've done that, we can jump into the specific sort of section of the build menu, and we can say, hey, we're going to get a dining table in our kitchen. Yep, that is the kitchen. Just absolutely double checking. Also, I need to nab myself a door. A meat cultivator, lab-grown meat to feed your hungry workers. Okay, cool. We'll get a meat cultivator as well in here, I suppose. Am I going to be able to squeeze this in? We're not really going to have the space. I can adjust that in just a second. But let's get the bedroom. Let's get the bedroom sorted. Now, we don't need to have a bed for absolutely everyone, but I think, yeah, I mean, something like that. What is that? Five beds? I think that should be okay for at least now. Let's get this kitchen expanded so that we can put the meat cultivator in here as well. There we go. I don't know how this has ended up working the way that it does, but it's fine. It doesn't particularly matter for now. We'll just throw in a meat cultivator. Oh, people are actually removing it. That's great. Throw in a meat cultivator over here. We also need a bunch of doors, which I can do in the layout menu. The door needs to be over here, and it needs to be over there as well. Although I suppose we could also probably throw in an additional door over there. Okay, this is looking and feeling pretty darn good. The kitchen is now a sort of fully fleshed out room, which is great. Next stage is probably going to be a science room, I would imagine. Science is very, very important. We've also got the ability to build fences. I will worry about that. I will worry about that, but I will worry about that in a little bit. Science room, science center, where do we want that to be? Probably over here. Let's try and not interfere with that door that I've just built. Perhaps not in a super obvious location. A low rumble echoes across the plains. They know that you're here. Indeed, they do. So, let's talk about zombies and how zombies work. We can see that we have got a lovely little sort of diagram over here. Upcoming event. The helicopters at the headquarters. Call in for the world map. Blah, blah, blah. Upcoming zombie attacks. No zombies. Regular attack on 9. And that is... or 9 regular attack, and then you can also see their little stats over there. We also have a zombie threat level, which will adjust over time as the lab expands, as we get more humans. That sort of thing will lead to more zombies coming our way, which is not necessarily something that we want to be thinking about right now, but it is something that we will need to think about. Now, where are they going to come from? They're going to come from this tunnel up here, and this tunnel over here. Now, I don't think that we actually have any specific intel on which tunnel they'll be coming from, but that is a-okay. Right, can I get some power grids, some power grid expansion set up? That should allow me to turn on the meat cultivator. That should take it within range. That is looking good. We got a little power grid down here. Power grid is still plus 30, so that is plenty. This default room is going to become a science room, which is great, and in fact very, very important for all of the different stuff that we're going to be doing. Science-wise, what have we got? We have got 2 science buildings at the moment. A treatment chamber, which is very important, but not useful right now. And more importantly than that, we've got some research desks. Now, what I really want to do is I really want to build multiple research desks. Yeah, I think something like that is probably good. We can't squeeze... No, we can't squeeze another one in here, very unfortunately. But that's okay. Four research desks is absolutely admirable. I'm quite happy with that. We are doing okay for wood, although we're not necessarily in a great place with regards to wood, but it's fine. It's fine. We can worry about that in a little bit. What does the meat cultivator actually require to operate? Because we should probably have a little look at that. It requires raw vegetables as an input and also glowberries, and it gives us an output of meat. Now, thankfully, we have got some glowberry bushes over here. They are within range of the resource camp, or some of them are anyway. It doesn't look like we've got any vegetable patches, so we should probably think about going... Yeah, so over here, we've got some wild vegetables, for example. If we want to think about expanding outwards, then putting a gate over there is probably a decent idea. And also an additional resource camp. As you can see, it highlights exactly what resources we've got in the area, and access to the glowberries and the vegetables would be great, as well as the additional wood. I'm actually interested in all of that. Okay, so we know that there's going to be no zombies coming our way tonight. That's fine. That's good. That's a grand position to be in. We're a little bit low on the old power, but our battery has got plenty of juice in it at the moment, and given that our building has no workers, that's fine. Let's reduce the number of workers that we have in the hauling post so that we can assign a few more to the resource camp. Okay, this is looking good. What's important is that we have got a really strong research foundation. Research points are going to be the backbone of our operation from now until, well, until the future, I suppose. The tech tree is fairly extensive, and we should probably ideally focus on this objective here. So level 1 Humvee treatment. Where is that? Actually, tell a lie. I've already got the treatment chamber unlocked, which is fine. So we just need to build that. We need to build that chamber in a science room, which I'll probably do over here, maybe. We'll see. Either way, where do we want to be? Where do we want to be heading research-wise? The Tier 2 basic lab is probably a good call. It's going to unlock Tier 2 research, so that's great. There's a whole bunch of different research tabs. A furnace allowing us to smelt ore. A bellow breezer. This is going to come in very, very handy very shortly, but not super necessary right now. A snow cannon, a Humvee sniping tower. I'm interested in that. The ability to get a bench press. Okay. Okay. A veggie planter. That's what I'm talking about. Veggie planter and a glowberry planter. These are pretty cheap to accumulate. So let's get both of these. Let's get both of these unlocked as soon as we have the requisite science points. And actually, I will turn my attention to just getting them placed real quick. We'll probably place them over here. No, not over here. Over here. Over here. Good. Looks like our gate is in full swing, which is fantastic. I've got absolutely no idea why we're now focusing on these trees here. What we can do is we can deprioritize all of these trees, because we should be prioritizing the trees that are actually within the base. It just makes perfect sense. Veggie planter, we don't have any available workers yet, but that is fine. Okay, next thing that we can maybe talk about is the trade screen. The way that trade works is kind of cool. So we can trade with our Moose Lab HQ. So we are the Science Lab outpost. We can send some zombies back to the Moose Lab HQ, and we can get some components. Yeah. So if we are able to trade some zombies, then we'll get some points, and that'll allow us to get some additional scientists if that is what we want to do. Upgrading the technology level also increases the number of allowed scientists by 4. Okay, so getting an increased technology level is good for sort of multiple reasons in that regard then. Anything in science that we want to get done? Cure progress level 2? Yeah, cool. All right, let's accumulate some resources. We have got some zombies coming this evening. So let's think about how we want to tackle that. There's going to be quite a few zombies coming. Not over the moon about that. We know that they are going to be coming from either here or over here. And we don't really have a huge number of options as to how we tackle that. We have what's called a snowball shooter. This is going to allow us to lob snowballs at zombies, useful for freezing individual zombies. Yeah, that's basically it. And we can also build a frozen zombie storage. I'm going to build it. I'm going to get it built over here for now. And then we'll also build another one over in the corner here. And then maybe one more just here. I'm just a little bit worried that these zombies are going to come up there. Probably not even there, to be honest. Yeah, not sure that we need this one. Let's maybe reconfigure and have a second one over here. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so these snowball shooters, if we get them up and running, which we should be able to do so very, very easily indeed. Look at this. Everybody's happy. Satisfaction is good. We do not have buildings connected to the power grid. I will fix that in just a second. The most important thing is that we have ice packs. Now, at the present moment, we've only got 22 ice packs. That is a bit of a problem. There is a way for us to generate ice packs. However, it requires us nabbing an additional bit of kit. And that bit of kit is a bellow breezer, a slow and crude method of freezing water to create ice packs. The furnace is not going to be very useful in this case. Let's unlock the bellow breezer with an expected turnaround time tonight. I'm also gonna reduce the number of people that I have working on research. We'll also throw down some additional power cables. Looks like I'm going to need to do it with 2 power cables. That is A-okay with me. And 2 power cables over here. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Our power grid is a little shaky, but not necessarily tragic. So we should hopefully get a few of the haulers to move the resources into the required snowball shooters, which is great. I'm also going to make sure that nobody is actually working in my snowball shooters at the moment, because we only really need people to be working in the snowball shooters when it comes time for us to defend against the zombies. So let's collect more resources. Let's move forward to the end of the day. And let's also see if we can try and build this bellow breezer, which is going to give me the opportunity to make some ice packs, which I'm very, very interested in. Okay, bellow breezer is up and running. It's just a case of turning water into ice, which is kind of cool. Yeah, pretty chuffed with how that is all working out. Looks like we don't have any ice packs remaining, presumably because we've deployed them to all of the various snowball shooters. I should change that. I should change that too. I thought I did change that. Oh well. Yeah, it's almost time for the evening to roll around, and it's going to be interesting to see how we handle this whole situation. Now, what I'm about to do is I'm about to enter the lockdown phase. There is, by the way, an ability to toggle when we want workers to be in the building. Let me see where the workers, or see where the baddies are going to come from. There is a way for us to determine who we want to be in what building, when, and where. Let's see. No sign of them yet. No sign of them yet. There's going to be a regular attack, 12 zombies. Okay, here and here, both places. Okay, what we're going to do, immediately jump into a lockdown. Very important. Next thing, we want to get you assigned. We want to make sure that you are 100% assigned. Good. We're going to reduce the number of people working there, reduce the number of people working in this resource camp. Make sure we've got, in fact, actually, 2 people in each snowball shooter. Yep, very important. And we'll reduce the number of people that we have working in this resource camp as well. So, let's go into 1x speed to hopefully get everybody into a defensive position. I hope that we've got a little bit of ice. The bellow breezer honestly needs a secondary person. I'm a little bit worried that we do not have the required amounts of ice. But we will see. This is the first night. I'm not anticipating anything too challenging. It looks like the enemies are going to go around the entire base, so we maybe need to be a little bit more sophisticated about how we choose to defend here. Okay, fine. Now, we're going to start the freezing process on a couple of zombies. As you can see, there's a big old health meter above their heads. I'm going to put down a frozen zombie storage facility right over here somewhere. What do I need? I only need 5 wood for it. Requires room type. What do we need? What does it need to be in? Location, a cooling chamber. Okay, you know what? Doesn't matter. Look, there we go. You have had, or we now have, an official frozen zombie, which is amazing. This gate is going to crumble if we are not careful. I'm going to build a frozen thing down here. Let's get you over there. Brilliant. And let's get some... Where is it? Yeah, pylon situation. Good. Let's get that all built. Insufficient resource for constructing building. What do we need? I'm not sure what we need, but we need more of it. It's some metal. Okay, you know what? Let's disassemble... Let's disassemble you. Yeah, salvage... Salvage that. There we go. Okay, marked for salvage. That's good. And that should give us, hopefully, the resources that we need. So yeah, we probably want to be focused on the gate. It looks like the enemy decide to pretty much just like bang on go for the gate. This is like clearly not working. So what we're gonna do, set this as an even priority. Increase the number of workers that we have here. Mark this car to be removed specifically. Excellent. And get the situation sorted. A building can't be reached. Don't know where it is. Don't particularly care. Looks like we've got the resources for the snowball shooter. Fantastic. Right. We're still waiting for a little bit of ice, which does perturb me ever so slightly. but I'm very hopeful that we can get it in. Oh, it looks like we're doing a little bit of a repairing operation to our gate. I'm not really anticipating any mega issues on the first evening, but it is something that we should consider. Right. We should be able to, if I go into the trading menu, look at that. Okay, where's our second frozen zombie? Oh, we got a frozen zombie over here too. Nice. Oh, we got 3 frozen zombies. That is fantastic. Really, really good news, because that is going to allow us, first of all, to get out of lockdown. Great. Next thing, I want to throw in 3 frozen zombies into the container slot. We can choose our reward. I can move towards cure progress. I can move towards getting some research points, or I can get some support points. Support points will allow me to order some additional materials, or even a scientist, if we've got the capacity to do so. I think we want to sort of progress up the cure progress line. That's fine. Right, we'll send the helicopter to do that. We will unassign all of the people from the snowball shooters. There we go. And get people to work in the resource camps now. Yep. Brilliant. Cool. Very, very chuffed with that. That is looking really, really good. That is looking really, really good. So, we are still pressing on with the old research. It's taken a long time, but that's to be expected. You know, research is never necessarily easy. But what I would like to do is I'd like to think about expanding my sort of operation here. Now, what I'm specifically thinking about is an extra science zone. So I'm thinking that I want to grab a little bit of additional territory. Yep. I want to grab a little bit of additional territory with a fence. Perfect. Actually, yeah. I mean, that's fine. Let's do that. Let's do that. It's going to take a little bit. Ooh. Workers are leaving. I mean, they're not workers. They're zombies. They're zombies. Are you coming? Oh, no, you're not coming to box. It's fine. Are we required to move the zombies into the base? I am not exactly sure. I don't even know how we move these things. Do we need hauling posts? I think they should be able to. Yeah, transport frozen characters. They absolutely should be able to do that. So let's maybe increase the number of haulers that we have. Decrease the number of people at the resource camp. This helicopter isn't going to wait around forever. In the same way that these zombies aren't going to be frozen forever. They're not going to be dangerous when they are unfrozen. Let's maybe... hauling post. Let's just put everybody onto... There we go. Put everybody onto hauling frozen characters. This is going to allow us to adjust for day and night. We can get them to refill stuff. We can get them to take stuff out. All of that is good. Have we missed our boat? Yeah, we might have, honestly. We might have. Don't really understand. That doesn't seem to have worked in the way that I wanted it to. Okay, well, we'll turn hauling back on so that we can at least move stuff around. Yeah, don't know why that didn't work. Don't know why that didn't work. That is a bit of a bummer because I was kind of counting on it. Oh, sure, we'll try again. What the heck, you know? We'll try again. Do we need a storage point? Do we need do we need something? I don't think we need something specific. I think the haulers should be able to just get the job done, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. Anyway, yeah, workers are leaving, but the workers aren't being loaded into the place that they need to be loaded into. Location, cooling chamber applies cold storage. Yeah, I mean, we can't build that yet. Can't build that yet. Ugh, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna sweat the small stuff. Let's just get this. Let's get this area built. It's good. It's important. I'm gonna salvage all this wall. I know this is a bold move, but it's gonna mean that I don't have to have half my flippin'... Oh, look! They all went. They all went! The zombies all went. Either that or they all unfroze. And just wandered off into nothingness. Well, I guess we'll wait and see. Either way, Let's get the salvaging done here so that people can actually get through relatively easily. Hey, there we go. Helicopter arrived at Moose Lab. You gained 15 cure progress. Nice. We are moving on up in the world. Great. So, now that we've done that, let's have a little look at getting our next level of science operation up and running. And for this science operation, we are going to require a little bit more space. I would really appreciate, video game, if we could get rid of all of these bits of wood before we move on to building our next science building. So let's get that done. Okay, good. The fence is now expanded. It's now in a much better place. It's time to look at getting... There we go. Something like that. I think that's pretty decent. It's going to cost me 165 wood, which I think is a very reasonable investment. Let's place a door at either end, actually. No, it doesn't seem necessary. One end is just fine. Are we going to be enduring a zombie attack this evening? We are indeed. That is definitely noteworthy. We know that the gate is going to be under a bit more pressure. How many bags of ice do I have? Not much. Presumably not much because it is all being delivered to the snowball shooters, which is... It's a fine trade-off. It just means that we have effectively no stockpile. What I should probably do is get another one of these bad boys, because they are pretty essential bits of kit, at least in the early game when we only have the opportunity to free zombies. We literally do not have the opportunity to do anything else with them. Let's assign 2 people there. Do I want to take anybody else off resources? Sure, I'll take some people off there just so that we can do a little bit more freeze manufacturing. Okay, good news, good news, good news, good news. Oh, a cooling chamber. Cooling chamber for your zombies. Yeah, we can build that room right now. Science room, let's do that. Let's also build a little cooling room over here. Yep. Brilliant. And we'll get that in there. And we will immediately set this as a cooling room. This is the science room. This is the very important science room, actually, which is very far away from the cooling room, but it doesn't actually matter. Doesn't actually matter. Either way, in this room, we're going to get ourselves a treatment chamber. This treatment chamber is going to completely revolutionize how we conduct our operations here. If only I can get a bit of power. That's perfect, actually. Yep, bit of power over there. Bingo. What else do I need? Nothing. That's a lie. I need some metal. Do I have any metal? Do I have any metal within my boundary? Do I have any metal outside of my boundary? I don't think I do, you know? I think barrel of chemicals. Yeah, the metal's already been extracted from that wholeheartedly. There's a little transformer over here, which is going to give me 10 metals and a few electronic chips. Ore deposits. Yeah, I'm very interested in an ore deposit. A dilapidated radio tower. I mean, that's better. A pickup truck is better. But it's not fantastic. Old utility pole. Yeah, none of this is fantastic, to be honest. What I will have to do is get a resource post and think about where we're going to build it. Let's sort of think in a forward motion. Let's think in a forward momentum, and let's build it over here. Well, actually, is that the best place for it? Is that the best place for it? I mean, yeah, it's nearer the zombie sort of area, but frankly, I don't think they're going to attack the resource camp. If they do, then look, we've learned our lesson and we've lost, what, 10 wood? I mean, who really cares? If they do decide to attack it, that is what it is. What I can do now is I can prioritize this. I can assign people here. Yeah, 2 workers is fine. I probably want to decrease the people working elsewhere. We can decrease people that are working in main storage. Ooh, repairs all damaged buildings, triggers a frost wave expanding outwards. Oh, that's kind of cool. Makes workers happier. Yeah, very cool. Either way, these are our builders. We're going to get these uh, deprioritized for now. Have I got anything important up here? No, I don't. Could not satisfy hunger needs. Oh, that is important. That is very, very important. Let's maybe not. Let's maybe not deal with that. No, don't go and mine. Don't go and mine the useless ore over there. Go and mine the useful stuff that I want you to mine. Yeah, so we need vegetables. That's super important. I also, I mean, yeah, we're gonna need raw meat in just a minute, but for now, apparently, we only need vegetables. Vegetables are eaten by humans. We have humans at the moment. We are about to get the next level. We're about to get the next level of worker, and by that I mean we're about to get our Humby, which is a cross between a zombie and a human. The treatment chamber has been built. That's great. I'm very happy about that. I think it is time to head back into... I think it's time to head back into the base. Cool. All right. Let's do it. So, with that, let's get people assigned to all of the requisite snowball shooters. All right. We've done it. Let's have a little look at how these zombies are going to do against us. You still do not have the workers that you require. That's a bit of a bummer. Let's decrease the people in the treatment chamber, because that's fine. Resource camps as well. Let's remove that. Am I finally on top of my ice pack situation? I am not. The good news is, though, is that we should be able to start firing the snowball shooter pretty much immediately. The zombies are all gonna hopefully rush the gate, and I've got plenty of ice ready to rock and roll in there. Ideally, there's a zombie everywhere there is a snowball shooter. That can't really always be the case, but in the future we might be able to funnel them a little bit better. That's good, at least. That's fine. Anybody attacking over here? Nobody attacking over there. Somebody attacking over here, which is great. You're a little bit miserable. I would probably think the reason that you're miserable is because you are hungry, and you also have no comfort. I can fix the comfort situation whilst we're not doing anything else. Yeah, sitting on the couch is going to give people comfort. Unfortunately, this is a very, very small bedroom, so I might need to expand that. That's okay, though. That's okay. Right. How's this all looking? The gate is okay. Let's highlight this to be repaired, please. Is good. Is very good. Can I have a little look at some of these base powers? Triggers a frost wave expanding outwards. 2,500 damage. I don't know what the range of that is. It doesn't look like it's that large. Range 70. Range 80. Range 200. Should we try the Frost Nova? Let's give it a shot. Nice! Oh my goodness! That was insane. That was absolutely insane. Well, that froze everyone. But it does mean that we now have a 3-day cooldown on it. Speeds up recovery time, but it's going to cost us some power. Hey, look. That did a lot of good for us, and I'll tell you why it did a lot of good for us. It means that we can completely change our operation around here. So reduce the number of people that we have on the snowball shooters. Fine. We're still going to keep the people manufacturing ice. However, what we're going to do is we're going to nab ourselves 3 people in the treatment chamber. Now, if we put people in the treatment chamber, we will actually start to see the process of making a level 1 Humby. We're going to require wood. We're going to require a little bit of glowberry. But we combine them together 1.5 hours later. Bish, bash, bosh. We get what we're after. Right, and we're also going to get... Perfect. A couple of these things. Beautiful. I don't know how many zombies we can throw into this zombie storage. I would imagine it's not many, but that's fine. Let's reassign everybody to work here. Reassign a few more people to work there. Great. Great, great, great. That was a little touch and go, not gonna lie. That was a little touch and go. Look at that. We're moving the zombies around. Amazing, 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 amazing. Brilliant. I'm also going to expand my bedroom ever so slightly so that we can incorporate an additional... In fact, probably just make it this large, yeah. Expand it so that we can get ourselves an additional thingy. A sofa. There we go. That is all combined into one single room now. It now, of course, needs to be remade as a bedroom, but that's fine. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with that. The zombies are going to unfreeze, but they're only going to unfreeze very, very slowly indeed. Right. How's this happening? How is this working? Have we undertaken anything yet? I don't think we have. Also, I've got like loads and loads of science points. I feel like I should do something with that. Okay. There are going to be 21 zombies coming our way. We need 2 people to operate this, which is fine. What's the issue? You can't access? Oh, there's... I didn't realize there's a third person required over... Not a third person, but like an access point required. Get this prioritized, like, immediately, please. There we go. Have I got enough people in main storage? I don't, actually. Yeah, that is a huge oversight. Massive pain in the backside. If we get people working in the main building, then we can get the thingy built. Brilliant. Get in here. Perfect. You should now be able to access this area. That's the dream. Give you a minute to refresh your walk route. Fantastic. And look at that. Okay, we are undertaking the process of transformation. Sky Brain Scum. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing about level 1 Humbies. They're Humbies who have only gotten the first round of treatment, are extremely strong, but not the sharpest tool in the shed. So, stuff like hauling, stuff like resource collection, this is exactly what we want to be doing. This is cool. Yeah, take care of your level 1 Humbies, or they might get angry. If they do get angry, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for us. We also need this machine, which I built a heck of a long time ago. I need this machine, the meat cultivator. The meat cultivator needs a meat pallet, and between the 2 of these bits of kit, which requires free space, do we not have the... Okay, apparently I require even larger free space, but it needs to be in the kitchen. Yeah, we get this in here. We put down a pallet of meat, and the level 1 Humbies are gonna go crazy. Let's get this fixed. Let's get this enlarged ever so slightly, and then we'll put down a pallet over here. Oh, God, video game, come on. There we go. By the way, there you are, Sky Brain Scum. Fantastic. Absolutely delighted. And look, we now have a whole different category of where we can add workers to, which is kind of cool, to be honest. Kind of cool. Kind of dig that. I would like to store... It's one. It's one single zombie. It's one single zombie per storage. That's pretty bad, to be honest. That's pretty bad. There's quite a lot of building works that we're undertaking right now. I'm okay with that. We can do it. As long as we're keeping regular progress in our treatment chamber up, then that's fine. Can I assign some... Don't know what you're doing. Can you only do... Yeah, okay, apparently you can't work at the resource camp, but you can work at the hauling post. So that's great. Also means that we can unassign regular humans, which is great. We can get the zombie to transport its compatriots, which I think is quite satisfying, just all things considered. Look at that. It's good. And we're keeping everybody frozen, which is remarkable. And you know what I should do? You know what I absolutely should do that I have totally overlooked, but now we can think about doing it? I can just bang in. I can bang in a load of these guys. Send the helicopter, get the job done. Bish bash bosh. We'll load everybody up. Hopefully it all happens before we really run into any problems with capacity. Let's delete this wall, please. Delete that. I think it's already set to be deleted. Let's get a couch for comforts. Cool. Put that towards the edge over here. That's great. Everybody's crying out for a couch. Well, I am your savior. I will get the couch for you. Helicopter is arriving. 10 workers are going to leave. Looks like everybody is going to get loaded up into here, which is great. That fills me with a great degree of happiness. And they're all just sitting over there waiting. Looking good. Looking good. Fantastic. And look at that. We got our third level 1 Humvee. That's so good. It's so satisfying. It's so satisfying when a plan comes together like that. It's really, really good. I do like the fact that the zombies become your friends. And look, they can become more than friends. They can become level 2 Humvees. Humvees who've been treated a second time are fast and dexterous. How do we get to that? Well, let me tell you. I think it's in science, right? It's in science. It's the treatment chamber level 2. So we need to get treatment chamber, or we need to get the lab level 2 first. We also need to move towards the cure before we can do that. So getting these zombies shipped off is definitely going to help in that regard. Very, very much so. There we go. Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Yeah, the zombies are... yeah, unfortunately going to end up thawing if we don't get them into cold storage quickly. There we go. But if we do get them into cold storage quickly, then we can save them and use them throughout the course of the day. Almost certainly want to get more than just 3 storages for zombies here. Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame. Here we go. Beautiful. And they're all going to unfreeze. But if they unfreeze, they should just run out into... yeah, they should just run away. And they should not interfere with any of my operations. Also, it doesn't look like this resource camp was attacked, which is quite a nice little vindication, which is very, very good. Right, does the snowball shooter allow us to... it does allow us to get the level 1 Humvees equipped. That's pretty decent. The bellow breezers, probably the next thing that we want to be thinking about automating with the Humvees. Here we go. Yep, we'll just get you started. This is looking good. This is looking good. So suddenly, we have gone from a highly, highly limited workforce to a functionally unlimited one. There's also, by the way, the opportunity to get some better freezing stuff. So freezes all zombies in its area of attack, useful for slowing down groups of zombies. I'm interested in that, to be honest. A snowball launcher, a long-range launcher, a guard armory. Equips a human or a level 3 Humvee with a snow slinger. Let's get this, and also this. Sure, I want to see if we can try and build up a little bit of kit. Specifically, I'm looking for... yeah, I think something like that. Yeah, I'm feeling like this is probably the best place to do it, right? Because it's going to have a large area of effect. It's within the grid area. I think we do it. I think we do it. The snowball launcher. Holy cow, this thing is crazy. This thing is beefy. I don't think I really need it, to be honest. But that's okay. Building is out of ammo. Don't worry. The snow cannon is being loaded and ready to go. How many zombies are we going to be facing tonight? Probably quite a lot. Almost certainly more than I would like to be facing. Am I ready for it? Not really. Not really. The good news is that we haven't run out of food yet. We've run out of glowberries by the looks of things, which is a bit of a shame. There are a few more glowberries over here, but I've not really assigned anybody to the resource camp. Let's get a few more people in there. Right. 21 regular zombies are attacking. It's time to go into high alert. Let's redistribute the workforce. Okay, workers are all standing by. It's time. It's time to see how this goes. We have got plenty of workers. We've got not very many glowberries, to be honest. Let's see. It says we've got 2 workers spare. Let's punt them into this facility and get them to collect some more glowberries. So at least we can continue doing the treatments overnight. That's the plan. Where are my workers? You're going to the job. Excellent. The good news is Snow Cannon is up and running, and it has got a large area of effect that hopefully means we are going to be dealing quite a lot of snowy damage to a lot of people. Doesn't look like this area is being attacked at all. That's fine. You are Jackie Chill. Great time to be called Jackie Chill, let me assure you. Okay, the Snow Cannon is kind of slapping, to be honest. Even if it's not necessarily freezing everybody super quickly, the Snowball Shooter is definitely, you know, is definitely doing the bulk of the sort of actual freezing work. The Snow Cannon, I feel like, is slowing down a lot of the attacks, which is quite nice. Yeah, definitely feel like with this cannon, I feel much better prepared for the level of danger that I am experiencing this evening. Right, here's what we're going to do. We're also going to expand outwards. Is that enough? Screw it. We'll go big or go home. Go big or go home. Yes, I know the room isn't going to be functional. That's okay. It's only going to be not functional for a very brief period of time. I think, relatively speaking, I've done a fairly good job of keeping on top of all of the different sort of various facets of expenditure and resource management that I would usually be expected to. That is to say, I think I've been doing a not terrible job of making sure that I'm spending the wood as it is coming in, spending all of the resources as it's coming in, as they are coming in, I should say. It's been working out for me, to be honest. It's been working out for me. We're still treating some more Humvees. Oh, very important oversight that I have neglected to undertake. We need to get that pallet there. That needs to be top of the priority list. There we go. We need to get somebody equipped to work on the meat cultivator. Meat cultivator will require glowberries and a few vegetables. Look at this. Look at this. It's worked absolutely perfectly. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, next night is going to have 6 elite zombies coming at us. Let me guess, you are probably a little bit unhappy. Feeding pile has got a heck of a lot of food there. That's what we want to see. That's exactly what we want to see. Meat cultivator doesn't have anyone working on it yet, but that will be fixed, rectified, whenever we reduce all of our snowball shooters down. I don't think that there's an easier way of doing that, unfortunately. Yeah, this is a little worker overview, but it's not a way to assign and unassign. Be nice if we had like a toggle button. Open all doors, close all doors. Oh yeah, turn off that. But I don't think that we have a like activate defenses button, but that would be quite nice if we did. Either way, this is looking good. I'm chuffed with how this is all coming together. I would really like to finish my cold storage room, to be honest. Yep. We need to just deconstruct that wall. I'm working on it. Oh, and actually, we need a door. Awkward. We need a door. Maybe a door up at the backside as well here? Nope. Just a door around the front. That's fine. Either way, keep on processing the peeps. If we've got the resources, which we do, keep on processing them. That's what we need to do. And also, it's time to trade. Let's trade some of our Humvees away. I want to get to cure level 2. And besides, the Humvees hopefully will just deliver themselves into the helicopter container, which will make for quite a amusing scene, I hope. Right, let's go here. I mean, this is not a huge increase. Not even close to what I considered to be a huge increase, but, I mean, it at least means that we have a stockpile of resources that we are ready to, that we're ready to use throughout the course of the day. Good. Is that going to get us to the next level of cure? I think it might, you know? I think it legitimately might. I do like these Humvees. There we go. If it doesn't get us the next level of the cure, we can almost certainly still have the time to turn around and put a bunch more into the crane. Yeah, don't think that we got enough. However, it's only going to take very, very brief amount of time for the helicopter to arrive back at the depot at the Moose Lab HQ. So we should still have plenty of time to get all of our resources in and around. This is good. This is good. This feels great. I am chuffed about this. This is looking and feeling very, very cool. There we go. We got 55 cure progress. Let's punt in. Let's punt in a full allocation. Sure. We'll punt in a full allocation, or as close to a full allocation as we can possibly get. And hopefully, we'll be able to salvage some of the resources. I.e. not use the frozen zombies that we've got here. What am I on? 351 science? I have just been letting one single science worker just, you know, just get cracking. Unfortunately, it's not been as flawless as I initially anticipated. I've not managed to get as many people devoted to doing sort of full-time science, but that's one of the sort of pitfalls. Ah, there's all of my zombies. Oh, and also you definitely do not need to be working there. So go and do something useful. And assign people over here as well. Sure. What the heck? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So, as soon as the helicopter arrives back at the depot, we should have full progress towards cure level 2. Which is pretty darn cool, if I do indeed say so myself. There we go, 35 cure progress. Very nice indeed. If we jump into the tech tree here, and then I don't even want to think about the zombies that are going to be attacking me. We jump into, there we go, look at that. Cure progress level 2 has been achieved, which means that it's smooth sailing all the way up to treatment chamber level 2. And as far as I'm concerned, that's smooth sailing all the way up to treatment chamber level 4. Which is kind of cool indeed. Anyway, before these elite zombies descend upon my operation, we are going to wrap things up right about now. Thank you ever so much for watching, ladies and gents. Check out Zombie Cure Lab, link down in the description below, as ever. I'll catch you next time. Bye.